you have the opportunity, take a position where you're here, right? Like kind of on a corner. The table becomes a barrier, right? Even it's a mental thing. So, but what's that? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, people, you talk to some people going this, can I trouble you for a glass of water? Sure, yeah. And they'll say, oh, do you want ice in it? No, just right out of the tap's fine. Okay. I have bottled water. No, Bobby. You know what? Bottled water would be great if I could. And all you're doing is you're slowing everybody's heart rate. Now we're having a conversation. We're not just diving right into business, right? And everything else like that. But it's all a dialogue, and we memorize it, right? The culmination of the day, the culmination of the evening, of the appointment would be, that you basically get the listing. You get it 100% of the time. There's the national average is, if you're the first one in, 85% of the time you'll get the listing. But so you can bat at 100 and get them all. And it has to do with what you say and how you say it, and you set those expectations. You give them the agenda. So we're going to 3 things are going to happen this evening. You go through all these 3 things. I've got 3 things we're going to accomplish, and the last one is you're going to make a decision if you'd like to work with me, and I'm going to make a decision if I'd like to work with you. And they go, what? Well, why wouldn't you want to work with us, Bill? Well, from time to time, I do run into sellers who want to disregard the market data, and they don't want to list their home at a price that's going to sell. They give me all these wonderful reasons why they're motivated and this needs to happen, and yet they won't let the price on the home reflect what's going on in the market, because there's a lot of frustration there. The house just sits month after month after month after month. And I think if that's going to be the case, let's make that decision here tonight. They go, okay. Then I'm going to show them 3 prices. I'm going to show them a high price, a low price, and the one in the middle. I'm going to say, where do you feel like your home ought to be? Which one do you think they pick? Huh? High? What? Anybody else want to play along? What? Middle? Middle? Yeah. Yeah. They'll typically go in the middle if it makes sense, right? If it makes sense. But it should, right? And here's the thing: the goal is that the high price and the low price, they're not separate. It's not like, well, we could get 400 or 180. We're not. That's not what it is. It's like the middle price is 385. The high price might be 392, and the low price might be 370 or something. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of a range in there, right? And all right, awesome. So why would somebody pick the really low price, right? Well, from time to time, I run into customers that they've got to sell their house to get the kids in school in another state because they're starting a new job and they're super motivated. It's not that nobody just wants to sell for less, right? So anyways, okay. That is what's known as a rabbit hole. There you go. Yep. And don't worry, I got about 1,000 of them. So let's dive in. So 3612-3. 3612-3 is a class that's been around for a really long time. I was talking to Rob this morning. I taught 3612-3 when I was a team leader back in 2010, I guess. When I was a team leader, we used to teach 3612-3. It's a class kind of like Ignite, which is taught over multiple sessions. It's kind of a long class. I've sort of truncated it down a little bit, okay, to teach it in this short block of time, because I think a lot of us are familiar with a lot of these pieces. The other thing I did was there's 2 modules. I'm teaching the second module today, right? So the second module is everything here, okay? First one, power of one, validity, positioning, prospecting, marketing, leveraging a database. You guys get inundated with database stuff, right? We understand how important that is. So today I just, when I was talking to the team leaders about going around and teaching this, we're going to talk about, these 5 different ways that you can basically find business, okay? And now here's what I'm going to tell you. If you look at any real estate agent that's a top performer, they probably have 10 sources of business, right, that they get business out of. Here's the interesting thing. 80% of their business probably comes from 3, right? And of that 80, probably 60% comes from 2. So you don't need 100. There are literally thousands of ways to get business. I mean, there are thousands of ways. So what we want to do is we want to, I'm not going to say necessarily specialize, but I do think there's something to be said for repetition is the mother of skill, right? So if I'm doing something more often, that's not good. What happened? What is that? Yeah, we did. Let me see. Should, there we go. Just had to get it rolling. Director of Technology and Innovation. That was my first love. I'm going to set this right here if that's okay. So let's talk a little bit about farming. Now, here's the one thing. Every single one of you has a farm. You already got one, right? It's the neighborhood you live in, right? Gary Keller tells us in the MREA, be the best real estate agent on the street you live on. Think about that, right? And then that turns into the neighborhood that you live in. And then maybe it's that side of town or the surrounding neighborhoods or whatever that might be. But you really are uniquely positioned to basically work in those neighborhoods, in those areas, that part of town. Sometimes we get inundated with, I've got to go far away. I've got to cover the entire city. I've got to do all this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Your marketing or your prospecting pulls you to other places. But in your neighborhood that you live in, you've got to be the one, right? What does that look like? How do you get that done? It could be done through marketing. It could be done through lots of different things. And we're going to get into that when we talk about farming. So why do people do farming? What is it? Well, you're basically, it's a certain segment, right? Might be a niche, might be a market segment, could be based on locale, right? Just a location, any one of a number of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my marketing and my prospecting in that area over time, and it's going to be very, very consistent, right? I'm going to be kind of known as the neighborhood expert, if you will. So what is it? Geographic, demographic, and psychographic farming, right? This is basically just where they at, right? Subdivisions, neighborhood. Who are they, right? Maybe it's a certain income, net worth bracket, occupation, whatever it could be, age, first-time home buyers, right? Might be something there. And then here, what are they like? Interests, hobbies, values, property preference, investment properties, condos. Some cities have a lot of condominiums. They have a lot of townhomes, right? A lot of multifamily. People live in flats and different things like that. So you just have to kind of look at it and where do you feel comfortable? What do you know? Okay, because it's all out there, right? It's all out there. And the beauty of a farm is you can over time you can start to be the agent that everybody thinks of, right? And it feels better when you get a listing in that area and you hold open houses. And incidentally, here's one. If you're using directionals on your open house, yeah, make them all got your name on it. And when you put them out, put out about 30 of them, and ask for permission on every single yard that you put them in. Today I'm having an open house today. I'm expecting a lot of traffic. My name's Bo Smith. Work with Keller Williams. It's okay if I put a sign out in your yard, just a small rider. They'll say sure. Or you'll run across somebody like my father that'll sit and watch you put it out. And when you drive away, he will take it and he will throw it in the trash, right? That was my dad. Anyways, farming takes too long and it costs too much. What's that? Yeah, I know it. It's like, can I just, the number's on the sign. But farming takes too long, costs too much. Well, it really is, it could be the core of your business. Definitely in the areas where you live, because you know these areas, right? You know the traffic patterns, right? All the different things. So I think sometimes we first thing we think of is I got to get out of my own neighborhood. But you've got a unique opportunity there, all right, to be the neighborhood expert there. So here's another myth. Somebody else already dominates the area. Anybody ever told yourself that? Right? Oh my gosh, they've got it locked down. Right? Hey, you want to sit up here? Only because I'm kind of using like only half the room. And this, everybody here is big on like high fives and fist bumps. So we're going to kind of keep everybody close. It's all right. Some of you have heard that joke for the third time now, and you're like going, okay, Bo, that's just let it go. But you think somebody dominates it. No one's ever as dominant as you think they are. They're just not. You might think you see their signs and they sell every single house. But And what they're doing is they're picking up mind share, even in us. But that's probably also happening for the people that live in the neighborhood, right? So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. You can go right in there and, well, all right, let me ask you this. Think of the neighborhood you live in. Is there one agent that dominates that area that sells all the houses? I mean, can you think of somebody that's like, oh yeah, Sue Gill, Andover in Lexington, Kentucky. Sue owned it. I mean, it was she had all of it. She sold not really. Sue was a KW agent, and she sold a lot of them. But man, when she sold one, it was a really big deal, right? And if she had one listed, it was a really big deal. She dropped the mail, just listed. Oh, sold another one. You know, your neighborhood realtor. She lived in that neighborhood, and it was good because the average sale price about $650, right? So nice little farm there. But it could happen with any neighborhood that's out there. Okay, so keep that piece in mind. I'll memorize where that keyboard is here in just a second. Limits you to that area. It doesn't really limit you to anything. It gives you an area, a niche to specialize in, an area that you can work, right? So do things. I used to sponsor events for the homeowners association in the neighborhood that I lived in. And if I sponsored the event, that means I got the microphone, right? It was really hard to get it away from me after I got it, right? I had events, had a kids Olympics, right? We had like blow ups and everything, and the culmination of the day was we had a race, right, for the fastest kid in Still Meadow. Trophy was about this big. It was a traveling trophy, had the name plates on it and everything else like that. And I being the kind of person that just wanted to make sure everybody understood how life works. There was no age groups. We raced the 12-year-olds with the 5-year-olds. Like, life's tough, son. Get a helmet. Get on the line. And right, so but it was funny because kids raced every year, and you watch them grow. And they, you know, Mr. Bo, I'm winning this year. Kid raced like 6 times. He's like 11, and he's like, I got him this year. I'm smoking him. I'm going to win, Mr. Bo. I'm like, all right, let's go. But anyways, but here was the cool thing. I promoted the event, and everything I did, guess whose name was on it? Mine. So I got a lot of sales in that neighborhood. A lot of times I was the person everybody called. So you can do so many things. Doesn't have to be your only source of business, but farming is a great way to accentuate it, right? Just mailers and mass marketing. You know what? There's marketing and there's prospecting, okay? And you guys know the difference between prospecting and marketing, right? Is prospecting is an active endeavor. Lead gen is prospecting. I'm going to call FSBOs. I'm going to call expireds. I'm going to reach out to my database. I'm going to prospect. I'm going to drive. Marketing is I send out mailers. I get a billboard. Don't get a billboard. Billboards are but it's marketing, right? So it's a little more passive. You don't have any control over that person looking at that and going, "Gosh, I think I'll call Bo." With me, so keep that piece in mind as well. But you're going to do both, right? You're going to do both. You can door knock. Right? When you have a listing, you can door knock just to say hi. All kinds of different things that you can do from a marketing and a prospecting. Do any of you guys do any farming? Do you have a farm? Anybody have one like Meyer? You do? Okay. What's that? I started. Oh, you started. Oh, okay. Good. All right. Now, here's the beauty of it. The toughest thing is to start. Now, it's just about consistency. You know, we do these pop by workshops, and you hear people talking about pop buys. That's a great thing, right? If another agent in this office gets a listing in your farm, then you hold it open, right? Hawk it, you know, as far as that goes. Get it in there, and then make the open house a huge deal, right? The best thing about farming is you can control your activities. There's always something to do, and the more you do it, and the more you maybe drop a little mail, you know, work with an event or do something like that. The more you do that, the easier it is to have conversations with people when they do need something, right? So keep that in mind. That's awesome. We do a lot of farming if people that represent agents that represent like builders, new construction, brand new subdivision. I mean, you're kind of like try to pull those people together. That's an interesting way to look at it as well. So how do you select one? This is we're gonna do a little bit of math. We're gonna play around with it a little bit, okay? So there's several things you got to consider, okay? Goals, your budget, your size, what location, haven't met versus met. So I probably have more mets, people I've met, in my neighborhood than I would in one that's brand new, right? That I've never really been in. Something to think about. Average sale price. I'm going to skip 7 and come back to it. Marketing conditions, competition. You're fit for the farm. Okay. There's going to be places. There are places in Lexington that I can go and I really fit in. There are some places I go in Lexington and I don't necessarily fit in. Okay. Now, I'm schooled and I will fit in quickly, right? However, there's just some places just very, very natural. Okay. Turnover rate. This is a big one. You might want to jot this down. Your turnover rate is the rate with which homes sell in that particular neighborhood. Okay. So if you've got a neighborhood, so who can name tell me a neighborhood here in Louisville where nobody ever moves. Like they live there forever. 30, 40, 50, 80, 100 years. Where? Indian Hills. Yeah. No, nobody's moving. They're dug in. They've raised the kids. They live the entire rest of their life, right? Yeah. We've got some of those in Lexington. So that's not a great farming neighborhood because they don't sell very many houses. I mean, it's just not. And that's okay. There's business to be had. However, we're going to play the numbers. You look at a neighborhood full of homes that are full of, I'm going to make up this imaginary place where there's a neighborhood and everybody in there is a first-time home buyer. Okay? Is that a good neighborhood? Yeah. Because the odds are, they're going to move in that first home, they're going to sell it, and they're going to move into another home or something else like that. There's probably going to be a higher turnover. Okay? The way you calculate your turnover rate is you look at how many homes are in the subdivision, okay, and how many houses sell in 12 months, okay? So, wait a minute. Thought I had that. Sorry, hold on. So your turnover rate. So if I have a neighborhood that has 100 homes and 10 sell a year, what's my turnover rate? 10%. 10%. Okay. Here's the thing. 10% is a good number. I mean, that's a pretty good number. You'll see some get as high as 12 to 15, but those ones that are down around like 2 or 3%, there's just not enough movement, right? There's just not enough movement. So look at what that is. How do you figure out your competition? Yeah, you could probably do that. Well, who's the agent that sells the most homes in Andover Forest, right? Over the last 12 months, you could do that. You could also go into the MLS, pull up that neighborhood, do a search, right? Sales last 24 months and see which agent, is dominating. Here's what you're going to find. No one's dominating, right? There's going to be a number one, but they sold like, 4. You have a bunch of 3s, 2s, and then a bunch of 1s, right? So just look at it, right? See what your competition is. And then when you find out who your competition is, okay, you just kind of, you keep a lookout for them. But for the most part, you're going to realize that, you know what, it's really anybody's ball game, right? Anybody's ball game. So location, pick a farm that you can service, right? Pick a farm that you can service. Your farm doesn't need to be 45 minutes away. Surely to goodness, there is something between here and 45 minutes away that we can go and we can basically find and we can farm. Okay, so keep that little piece in mind. Anything we miss? There's 10 things. What else? What do you guys think? You're thinking about a farm. All right. So not everybody here has a farm. What's kept you from farming? Is there anything that up there that's kept you from it? I'll take the silence as a no. All right. What's that? Budget. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, Dana. I mean, it's exactly right. I think that's a big one for a lot of us when we think about something, an ancillary way to drive business or something else like that. So let's talk about budget. What the budget is basically set based on what you're able to make, what kind of an investment you're able to make. Most of us, when we're new, our ability, our budget is we have more time than financial resources possible, right? And maybe it's just that I don't want to spend it, right? That's okay too, right? Maybe I don't have it. Maybe I don't want to spend it. Maybe I'm just unsure. I'm at that, like, well, what do I spend it on, right? So that's why we always try to teach a prospecting-based, marketing-enhanced business, right? If you guys were not, let me ask you this: how many of you in the room would, if you weren't in real estate, would not have a cell phone? Okay, good. So one of your expenses, cell phone, yeah, you'd have had one anyway. So you really got nothing. All right, you with me? I mean, think about it. Your ability to, and what I'm driving at is the people you know, the people you meet, right? The all those people, those are people you can talk to all the time, right? That's free. Reason we talk about lead gen is because marketing, although it's good and it does work, it costs money, right? The other piece of it is unless we do a really heavy job of tracking it, we're not really sure, right? We're not really sure if it's working and to what level. So yeah, so now don't get me wrong, you got to buy signs, right? We know that. We got to get business cards, everything like that. If I'm going to drop mail or something else like that. So you've got lots of resources there. But yeah, budget can be one of those things to consider. There is, go ahead. Yeah.
Are you also thinking just calling folks on your street?
Well, if you can get their phone numbers, right? So one, if there's a place, if there's an opportunity to get where they all are, right? Maybe you become active in the HOA if there's an HOA, right? Yeah, yeah, neighborhood Facebook page, right? Maybe you're the voice of reason. Hey guys, here's a market update, right? Hey, did you know the average sale price in our neighborhood is this, right? Little things like that. Now, and, yeah. Yeah.
On a map, it is a neighborhood, but it's just a bunch of streets.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
It's not like you're going to turn into my neighborhood.
Gotcha. So it's not a here's the entrance, got the stone, boom. Yeah, it's okay because what you can actually do, you can identify your farm. You can go in, and you can basically, what I would recommend you do, just do a radius. Look at you know what I mean? Pull up one of the mapping features and something, the free one. Look at it, and it basically see where the houses are, right? You can, a lot of this you can do in command, but see where the houses are at, draw a circle around it, boom, that's your farm, right? So maybe a neighborhood, a formal neighborhood, or it might just be geographic, this area, right? Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, so think about that. You know, when you start giving some consideration, don't just think, oh gosh, that looks like a great spot. Do a little market research. I have agents tell me, Bo, I'd love to increase my average sale price. Farming is a way to do it. Farming is a way to increase our average sale price because we can pick maybe a farm that's a little bit higher than what we are now, right? It's just put yourself in traffic. So put yourself in traffic. You yeah.
How many touches or activities or actions do you think is like good so they don't forget about you, but not to impact your budget as much?
Gotcha. If you can get to a place where you're collecting contact information, right, and you're able to keep people updated, right, then you can send them electronic newsletters. You can send them neighborhood nurtures, right? Here's a tool for you guys that you already have in your tool. You already got this tool. Let's say you've got a farm and you decide you're going to start farming it. You're going to start off with, I'm going to walk around, I'm going to introduce everybody. I'm going to knock doors and introduce myself to everybody. And here's what I'm going to start with. Hey, my name is Bo Smith. I'm actually a real estate agent with Keller Williams. I actually live at 1017 Deer Crossing on the cul-de-sac right there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. Well, hey, listen, I'm just walking around today, introducing myself to all my different neighbors. I know a lot of them, and just wanted to let you know if you ever need any help with real estate, boom, boom. I've got a QR code right here. I can put you on an electronic update each twice a month, let you know what's going on here in the neighborhood. It'll just come discreetly into your email. It'll tell you average sale price, price per square foot, everything that's selling, everything that's listed. And if that interests you, I can get you set up. Or, hey, how's that sound? And they'll say, sure, guys, that is your neighborhood nurture. It goes out twice a month. All you got to do is put their name and their address in there, and it'll send it automatically. You never touch it.
So what would be the conversation if you were farming an area that was not your neighborhood?
Okay, I think it's the same conversation. You know, this is an area that I've always loved, and I want to. My goal is to service it at a really really high level, and out introducing myself to people. This is what happens. You farm, and then you get a listing in the farm that your desire is to farm. That's when we go into the pocket and we drop mail, right? And then right behind the mail, you come in and basically, hey, folks, I just want to introduce myself. I've got the house up the street. Didn't know if you had anybody that you wanted to be your neighbor, blah, blah, blah. And we just kind of move from there. So it's a building process, right? It's a building process. You guys know every time you have an open house, your opportunity, if it's in your farm or if it's an area you're considering, I go out the day before. What was I doing? I don't remember where I was. I was going somewhere.
Closing or day before?
What's that?
Day before closing?
Or no, day before your open house. Yeah, you go out and knock them all. We got a brand new agent in our office. She was out. She knocked the entire neighborhood, and the whole premise was she was holding open another one of our agents' listing, and she was giving them a flyer with a business card, and she was dressed for it, right? Headed out, and just literally she door knocked every house in that neighborhood, right? Had a stack of them and introduced herself. That's step one. I mean, they're just color copies. That's all, and a business card. That was her cost. Time, right? She's a brand new agent and everything else like that. And she's got a listing and a buy side. Yeah, and the buy side might turn into a list buy. You know, long day. It's hot. Would y'all like a really good story? I'm gonna give you a story on this. So I have a daughter. I have two of them, both redheads, right? Yeah, both redheads. Caroline, my youngest, she's a junior at the University of Kentucky, business marketing major, Dean's List, and both of my daughters, there's a lot of me in them, so they got that thing, whatever it is. So Caroline decides she's going to get a really cool summer job, Dad, and I think it'd be a great experience for me. I'm going to sell pest control door to door. Have you guys heard of these people? Work for Moxie. It's a company called Moxie. It's a national company. They can show you people that are now senators that ran this play back when they were in college. I'm not kidding you. It's the craziest thing. I didn't know anything about it. So Caroline's rolling. She's running number 2 in her whole division, right? And they did everything. They shipped them off an hour and a half from Lexington, put them in a dormitory, and they get up every day, 6 days a week, and knock doors to sell pest control, right? And she's like, Dad, it's awesome. I'm like, I know it sounds awesome. But so she's wrong. So her little team is like chewing it up, like just boom, 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 boom. So they basically were going to go back into a neighborhood that they felt like they'd hit really hard. So the company, right, says, here's what we're going to do. I want you guys make your way down to San Antonio, Texas. We'll put you up in an Airbnb, and we'll turn you loose down there for your last 4 weeks. So they got in a car and they drove to San Antonio, 19 hours, right? And I'm talking to her. She's like, Dad, we got a package down here for scorpions and tarantulas. Where am I? I'm like, honey, it's kind of like Florida, or it's really hot, sandy, it's Texas. She's like, scorpions and tarantulas? What is this? You know, where am I? And here's the thing. She's rolling along. She's rolling along. She's Kelly Wyatt. Does everybody know Kelly Wyatt? Our general manager? Yes. She's awesome. Oh,
Indiana.
let's go. Tell them we said hello.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Not just in the other guy. No. It's a pre-cancer spot.
Even, well, that's important.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I almost
Zap
saw
it.
some face I saw on here. And then this doctor was great. I'm like, in your 40s, you're like, that's the highlight of your week is to find students.
Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm like, my doctor's awesome. Yeah. All right. See ya. Be careful driving.
Anyone that said hi?
Yes, I will.
All right. Bye, Kelly. Kelly's awesome. So what I'm saying is, back to Caroline. It's a law of large numbers. She knocks enough doors, she will sell, right? They're going in cold, right? Completely cold. Some people probably got a problem with people that knock doors, right? You know, so we're talking about doing some of those same things in an area where we're really connected. We're not selling anything, right? Our goal is to make connections. Our goal is to, you know, I've identified this neighborhood, a neighborhood I've always loved. I live here, maybe. I live close to here, maybe. Whatever that reason is. And, you know, people love to talk about real estate, right? And again, don't mistake my Caroline story. She's selling. I mean, she's selling. She loves to sit and call me and go over her objection handlers. Yes, we are. Yes, we did raise that one, right? And her sister's the same way. Yeah. I told her it was a great idea. I just told her it was a great idea. I said, what? Yeah. I said, it'll make your bones harder. Let's go. She goes, Dad, I can hear it all in I can hear your little voice in the back of my head. Ask them again. Ask them again. You got to she's like, I get 12 no's. I'm like, 6 no's are slamming the door on you, Caroline. I mean, I get the 12, but hold on. This is a little different deal, right? Dad never sold door to door. But anyway, so think about those things. So how do you select it? You know, take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. There's lots of things to look at. You know, we talked about this early. Is it market share or mind share, right? Do you think that person, if they think you're the one, even though you may not have sold all the homes, you do realize you could be more in their mind because of the farming. So don't feel like I've never sold anything in this neighborhood. It doesn't really matter, right? You can go in, you can start building your presence, you can start getting these things done. But location, size, budget, time, money. Most of us in the beginning, we have more time than money, right? Or we choose to make the time. Average sale price, you know, you can look at that with your goals and stuff like that. So there's some different things that go in there. But you know, I wasn't raised on a farm. If I was in like a rural area talking to farmers, I'm like, man, corn looks good. Oh, that's soybean. Yep, sure is. Yes, it is, and it's good looking soybean too. You know, I mean, it's just not going to go well, right? I'm not going to be somebody. So take some time to really pick it, select it. These are some different niches that people get in. Renters, you could farm apartment complexes. I used to farm apartment complexes when I was a mortgage broker. I would put those little, you know, those little things you put on the doors that have the coupons in it. I would go to the local businesses around the complex, and they would give me coupons. I didn't have to make any. They always had a stack of something. They'd give them to me. I'd bought the little bags, right? There's no Amazon back then. But I'd buy the little bags, and I just put them in there. And the one card that was in there that was the biggest was mine. And it filled the whole bag. And everything else just went in there, and I put them out. And, you know, it's one of those things that may or may not work with your the people that own the complex, right? But yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I came from a value piece. You know, this is what I'm going to hang. These are the coupons. You can see we got the pizza joint, we got the taco joint, we got this, that, and the other, and all this stuff that was in there. So it was true value there, right? Foreign-born customers, right? Renters, second home, investment buyers, luxury homes, clientele, other real estate agents, condos, all kinds of stuff. Other niches, first-time home buyer niche, you know, that's going to probably be driven by price, program. Is it in a USDA territory, right, or something, or Kentucky housing, pet friendly? You can just, you know, guys, here's the thing. Think about, the reason we're giving you all this information is think about something that you've got a little passion for. It makes it easy. Yes, sir.
There's a really well-known realtor over on Louisville East.
Collective, yeah.
That she found a complex. She was foreign-born, and she found a complex that was mostly that same foreign-born people.
Yeah.
And she made a lot of money. That was her starting out.
Yeah.
This condo complex. She was the person.
Yeah. And like it's like I'm not going to be able to go into you know, an area that has a lot of folks that are Hispanic, right? Or speak, I don't speak that. I'm out, right? So if there's something, right, that you're a part of or that you do or in your history or something else like that, you would be surprised. I mean, and it's a little easier now because you can get on Facebook and you can find groups and things like that. You might have to bring value. What about this? What if you went into a neighborhood that was at a price point where maybe they didn't have an HOA? Good, right? There's neighborhoods that don't have HOAs, and you were the person that helped start a Facebook page, right, for the neighborhood. There's lots of things people do in Facebook pages for a neighborhood. They talk about safety. They talk about this, that, and the other. I mean, apparently the neighborhood I live in, we've got like 13 or 14 Karens that live in that neighborhood. And it's like, I saw a red car go through. I've not seen a red car. That car is not from our neighborhood. And then somebody gets on there and goes, oh my gosh, it was us. I'm so sorry, Sally. We bought a new car and it's red. I mean, it's like, holy cow. I mean, she's on it, right? She's like this, right? I mean, so anyways, but you just never know. But think about those things. And if you can pick something where you've got a little passion for it, you know, then it's going to help you. How do you work it? You know, some myths here. Don't have the money to lead generate. Lead generate doesn't cost any money, right? It literally does. You can door knock. You can call people. You can network. You know, when you work the farm, what's your reputation? Reputation versus relationships. Be sincere. It's going to take time. You just started time. Just keep at it. Because here's the thing. Here's what I love about farming. You can farm a neighborhood while you're waiting to sell in that neighborhood. And the assumption will be that you're already selling in that neighborhood. You with me? You guys can pull some of the stuff on the market share reports and talk about that and hand that out. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but Keller Williams, you know, in Louisville, we're number one. We sell more homes in Louisville than anybody. Now, when you say Keller Williams, you're talking about, you know, Keller Williams Louisville, KW Collective. You know, I mean, we're all together. Talk nationally. Right? We're the number one real estate company on the planet, right? If anyone can get your home sold in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassles for the most amount of money, it's going to be a Keller Williams agent, right? I've got tools and resources and coaching and and it just goes from there, right? Smarter, not harder. Find your bird dogs. Find the people. If you know someone that can introduce you to someone else or a few other people, right? Once you get to know someone, you know, core advocates who refer business, you know, look for those people that have lived there for a really long time, right? Come from contribution, give them value, right? Meet people face to face. You know, it really just comes down to the activities, right? Come from contribution, create a directory, organize a neighborhood yard sale, start a website, create a neighborhood email. You want to do something, right, to bring value? There's some great opportunities there. Do the research. Hey, I noticed you all don't have a neighborhood page, you know, something like that. Take a survey, any one of a number of things. Market your listings aggressively, concentrate, right, your open houses, seminars and classes. If you're in a neighborhood, there's a lot of rental property. You can find those neighborhoods. Well, do we have some sort of a seminar for folks that are thinking about buying, right? First time home buyer seminar, boom. Maybe we drop mail, maybe we go through and we just, you know, invite those people to go. Local organizations, renters, landlords, every FSBO and expired listing in that neighborhood, it's your farm, that's your deal. I mean, it's a great one, right? I'm actually, hey, the reason I was coming to see you today, you've probably seen some of my things, my advertising or marketing that I do. This is actually one of the neighborhoods that I focus on a great deal. And just curious, why do you think your house didn't sell? Whatever. You're going to take them through that, FSBOs and expired. Local flavor for your marketing, right? Make them feel special, right? Again, if you're farming so in your farm what was the first thing you did when you started farming? Yeah. Ah. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
A gift.
Yeah.
Like back to school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at that. See, and I mean, yeah. Well,
can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Okay. All right. So there we go. And then then you can just work from a place of vengeance, right? That's exactly right. Yeah. I knew we'd get it out of you. That's why I kept asking. Right. Yeah. Just, no, it's true though. I mean, think about that. When you live in a neighborhood, you've been there for a certain amount of time, the house goes up for sale, and here's what's worse. You know the people, right? I mean, and it's like, and they probably knew you were a real estate agent. Maybe they just didn't think of you in that way, or that's I don't know. It's interesting. That's always our reminder to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You never have that. They're not all locked down.
Perception, I think of some people is that realtors making a lot of money, so one won't make it.
Oh yeah. I'd be like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, my answer to that is like, dude, I live right down the street from you.
Yeah.
We live in the same neighborhood. I mean, financially, we're probably both doing about the same. Yeah. I mean, if you were a plumber, I'd probably call you if I needed plumbing, right? I don't know. I mean, what I can tell you though is make it easy for them to do business with you. Make it easy to think of you, right? And you know what? Your goal this year might be to, in that farm, have complete contact information for 25 people. It might take you, but you know what? Those people know other people in the neighborhood, and then the next thing you know, you're at 50. Then you get and you've got to cultivate it, and you put them in your database, and you tag them, like Still Meadow or Autumn Ridge, where I live now. Autumn Ridge subdivision. And you tag them. Then whatever you want to do, go into command, put in Autumn Ridge, boom, they all come up. Whatever you want to sell them, just sold, just listed, whatever, it's gone. You can even drop mail right to those. And these are people that know you. These are people that gave you their contact information. What's that? Yeah. How do you collect it? Yeah. Oh, I think you can talk about your app. There are flyers that you can fill out, that you can hand out, that talk about your mobile app, right? That you can do. You can do the neighborhood nurture. Would you like to be kept up to date on what's going on in the neighborhood with regards to pricing and home sales and everything like? Because here's the thing. Nobody wants something that's going to tell them what's going on in the United States. They don't care, right? I mean, Florida is always Florida, right? Phoenix and California's sliding into the ocean, whatever, right? It's always, doesn't care. But you know what they care about? How much that house sell for across the street. That's what they want to know. So you got to learn what that neighborhood nurture is. You got to understand how it works, and everything is to capture that information. That's the game.
Can I get your information?
If you get the app that's got a QR code, it goes right to their phone.
Yep.
They scan it. And it exchanges.
Instacart.
Yeah.
Using the Instacart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. Yep, that's it. Yeah. So I'd figure out what that looks like, get that QR code. Okay. And that makes it super easy. Same thing with open houses. And here's the thing, you guys, a lot of people are a lot more forthcoming with that information. I mean, here's the reality. You can get their address. Go to PVA. Y'all got access to PVA for the entire United States. Somehow, somewhere, you can get in the PVA. So you got their name and their address. So when I'm sitting there talking to them, the only thing I'm really focusing on is what? Probably email. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the last thing, and I don't need your work email. I wouldn't want to bother you at work. What's your personal email? Right? Get that one. Mustang Sally at Gmail. Boom, boom. They've had it for 30 years, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but seriously, that's what and here's the thing, you just ask, right? You just ask. And then when you get that, maybe it turns into a phone number. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to get different things and stuff like that. But remember, you get their address. Got that. That means you can put a neighborhood nurture together for them, because you can get their address. Boom, you put it in command, it goes in. And maybe you got not maybe, but you have a spreadsheet that has all these people on it from that neighborhood, and you have columns, and you see what you're missing, right? You see what you're missing for each person. I got to get their phone number. right? Right there.
Well, and one of the things that Jason Abrams suggested is offer them a competitive market analysis.
Yep.
So when you offer them something of value, they're more apt to give you their email address.
Here's another one. You know, what if you had some kind of a raffle? And you know, to win the raffle, right? They have to register, and they have to put their information on a sheet: name, address, phone number, email. Yes. You know, yeah, and yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, and you don't. And I said address. You don't really. You can get their address again. You can cross-reference with PVA. Make it easy, right? Name, phone number, email. And they're like, oh, so are you getting this for just? And the only thing I'd like to do is send you is just an update on what's going on in your neighborhood. And I'm not gonna spam you, right?
If there was something I had to get to you right away because a big change is coming to your home value, what's the best number to send you a text?
Yeah. And then guess what? So you have that little deal and you get 25. And then you get over here and you do a little door knocking and you get 25. And then you get 10 people coming in to your open house. But it's okay. This is your farm, right? Yeah.
For the, like you mentioned, like if you were to do like a raffle or something like that, could you do like you have to download my app to enter and then their information automatically goes into your contacts?
You could. I've seen people do it anywhere from like cards, like old school, just write it down, right? To I hit a QR code and put it all in, and then boom, you can that stuff can go right into your command. Yeah. So just whatever's the best way to get it, right? And don't feel like you're going to go do one thing and get them all, right? You're going to have to come at this thing from different places, right? Yeah. Could be any one of a number of things. There are things you can do. You know, I've seen coat drives, food drives. You know, sometimes the
Rent a dumpster for a day.
what's that?
Rent a dumpster for
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
The neighborhood.
Yeah.
Spring cleaning, fall cleanout.
Yeah. Everybody come in.
Hey, I'm your local business on the street.
Yeah.
Going around and like,
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. There's so many ways to do it, guys. If you get into the MREA playbook, you guys can get to that from our website. Is that right, Rob?
You can get to, there's a ton of different playbooks
Yeah.
on our website, but if you just go into Connect as well and just type whatever it is you want, if you type the word farming and
Yeah.
Connect, there will be unlimited
Yeah.
resources.
I like that MREA playbook because it's kind of like the best of the best.
Yeah.
They've already sorted it.
A
Yeah.
copy of volume 2 of the book in my
Yeah.
office.
And you can get some farm. Yeah, there you go. But there's one in there on farming. There's one in FSBOs, right? As far as that goes. Now this is speaking of such. This is what it looks like. This is the MREA playbook. If you want to download the playbook for farming, it's right there. And it basically is going to tell you. It's going to tell you exactly what it looks like and how to run that play. And this was, there's usually an agent tied to it, and it's somebody who built an incredible business, and this was the way they did it. So you want to hit that QR code, that'll take you right there. And that MREA playbook, guys, it's there all the time. Oh, you jam me up, Rob.
Oh, what I do?
So when it does that, then I got to go back to, yeah, there we go. That's all right. It's the last time, Rob. Last time. You know, everything was running along pretty smoothly until you came bebopping down here. No, yeah. Increase the size of your farm, you know, higher goals. You can go, keep in mind, you know, your farm gets bigger, costs might go up, efforts might go, prospecting, marketing, right? I mean, there's different ways to grow it incrementally, okay? Your farm and the number of people in it, that number's fixed. The amount of people that you have relationships with that are in your farm, your correspondence, that's the number you want to grow, right? That's the number. You want to capture as many as you possibly can. So if I'm farming and I know this is my neighborhood and this is my area, I'm looking for all kinds of opportunities, anything that's going to get me in front a group of people within their organization. Okay. And you don't, be mindful of your time. You don't have to go join 12 pickleball leagues and all that kind of, you don't have to do all that. So next up, open houses. Open houses are one of those things. I loved open houses. That was my jam. I sold luxury new construction, and we had 2 signature communities with model homes. They were just, they were fully furnished and everything else like that. And I picked up buyers wanting to spend $200,000, and the model home was like 1.2 million. They were coming in for decorating ideas, and it literally turned into, a conversation. But are you at the open house to sell that house or pick up buyers and sellers?
Pick up buyers and sellers.
Yeah, actually both. But yeah, we'll say both, because your seller will be like, "What? You're not here to sell my house?" They think it's going to work, and it does. It's just a very small percentage, right? Very small percentage. So you're going to pick up a buyer or a seller? Yes. Here's the deal. You gotta capture their information. That's what makes it gold. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
So, a model?
Yep. If the builder will allow it, yeah, we can hold them open. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And that's one of those things where, you got to get very proactive. If it's not listed, right? Back up. If it's listed by an agent, it's probably that agent's call, right? They have agents, so you'd have to call the agent. So if the builder has an open house, or if the builder has a home sitting that's not on the MLS, you can approach. But if it's on the MLS, you need to approach that agent and see and you can hold open somebody else's thing as far as that goes. But you're there to pick up buyers and sellers. I mean, sell the house. I mean, every bit of it, right? It's a great opportunity, because the thing to remember with, let me give you guys a chart here. So, this is what you have to remember about an open house. Okay. Markers. Oh, there we go. So the bottom of every line graph, right, is time, duration, right? Okay. Over here on this side, we're going to put activity, right? So we're going to also put scope. So when people start off looking for a house, they're looking for houses on the planet Earth. And as time goes on, this is the long tail of the internet. And as time goes on, right, guess what? They go from we're going to go to the United States. We're going to go Kentucky. We're going to go Louisville. This is how much they're searching, right? It's going down. Then they're going to go start thinking about what side of town. Then they're going to start thinking about the street. And then the next thing is, it's the open house. So when someone walks in that open house and says, "Oh, we're just looking," they've been looking a long time. And when they walk in that open house, they've decided that's the neighborhood. They're not coming to open houses deciding whether or not they're going to live on that side of town or this side of town. You understand? Now, could you have people that are considering moving to Louisville from out of state come to your open house? Yes, you could. But for the most part, I want you to make sure that when they look at you and they say, "Oh, we're just looking around, we're just out, looking at open houses. It's our anniversary and we thought we'd go out for dinner, but we're going to just look at open houses instead." Whatever. I mean, understand they're there for something, right? People driving through the neighborhood, they've identified that neighborhood. Those are fantastic prospects. Everyone that comes in, right? So 100 buyers, 44 go to an open house. 5 of those use an agent from the open house. 39 of them leave the open house unrepresented or represented by another agent. I mean, look at the numbers, right? 100 people that are buyers, only 40% of them, roughly 45% of them, are going to go to an open house. Out of that, almost 10%, they're going to use the agent from the open house. They're literally have nothing to do. And then here, these people either leave unrepresented or they're represented by another agent. More than likely what happens is they just leave. They didn't sign up. Maybe they did sign up. Realtor didn't follow up. I brought my thank you cards to my open house, and in between visits, the people that came, I wrote them a personal note, put my card in it. They were blank, cheap, just said thank you on the front. Had my card in there. I addressed the envelope, brought my own stamps, and on my way home, I dropped them all in the mailbox. 13 people came, 13 people got a letter. 13 people registered. I used a registration card that was a half a sheet. I used a card stock, printed them in the printer, just stuck it in and printed it. It basically had logos and all that information. Had boxes for them to check, make it super easy to fill out. Place for contact information, name, phone number, email, right? And then just some questions about the house, kind of a little survey feel, right?
Would you recommend doing the iPad for that?
Yeah, I see iPad, but when I was doing that, back when I was selling, but the iPad was out there, but what I did was I took those 3x5s and I basically put them in a box, right, that held them. It was a one card system from long ago. It basically had 30 tabs. So I'd try to call them on this day, and when I did get a hold of them, I'd move them from the first day of the month to the third day. And I just keep moving them and keep updating them. And I wrote the notes on the back. I also like the card stock because I like paper, and I could pull like 3 of them, put them in my portfolio and take them with me, right, and bring them back. So it wasn't a great system, but at the end of the day, I captured that information. So keep those things in mind. Guys, any one of a number of things can happen. Just make sure you understand that those people that are there, they weren't, they're there to buy. Open houses are only for new agents looking for buyers. Nope. I know experienced real estate agents that do two every weekend. They do an early one and a late one. They do one at noon, and then they do one at like 4 o'clock, 4 to 6. So you can, again, if it's a farm, now you're 2 birds with 1 stone, right? If I got a farm and I get a listing in it, have to hold it open. Guys, you're starting to see houses sit a little bit longer. Yes. Days on market creeping up a little bit? That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that, because the seller's desire to have an open house will start to go up. When days on market goes up, they're like, well, you need to have an open house, because they think that's going to sell the home. So your opportunities every weekend, go through the listings in this office and hit those agents up. You on the board, on your all's dashboard, you can keep track of like new listings, right? With this office, every time somebody gets a new listing, boom, I'd call them. Hey, I wonder if I could hold your house open. They're like, oh, well, we think it'll sell pretty quick. And if it doesn't, hit them back. Hey, what about an open house this weekend? Now you get to go put out your signs, knock doors, deliver flyers. Everything's branded to you. You hold it open. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity. Everything you do before and after the open house is, if you do it by the book, it doesn't matter if anybody comes to the open house. How about that? Doesn't even matter, because you're going to use that. There's no better opportunity. Hey, Bo Smith, I'm with Keller Williams. We've got an open house today right over 1017 Deer Crossing. Just want to let you know about it. Here's a flyer. Expecting a lot of people, 10, 15,000. So you might see some extra cars. They laugh every time. And I go, no, I'm just kidding. I'm curious though, how long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you like best about the neighborhood? Awesome. Well, listen, if anybody wants a great house, I'm right up. Boom. Right? What do you love best? Then when I'm in the open house, well, what a lot of people love best about the neighborhood? Neighborhood expert, right? Because all those people you're talking to, if you ask them questions, you'll know the neighborhood better. But that's the easiest door knock there is the flyer. I'm having an open house. Seriously, probably might be a little additional traffic if for any reason, somebody blocking the street or something. That's my cell phone. Just give me a call. Everything like that. Right? Just curious. Anybody that's thinking about selling your home? Tara used to go around. She'd have a list a house in a neighborhood, sell it, multiple offers. She'd take the multiple offers. She'd get a black marker and black out, redact the names and everything like that. And then she'd knock the doors of the neighborhood. hey, I just wondered if you knew anybody that was thinking about wanting to sell their house, because I just sold the house over on 123 Banana Street, and I got 6 offers right here of people that are ready to buy. Boom. How about that? Yeah. And I mean, and again, invariably, what do they say? Well, you know, Frank was thinking about selling his house. I'm not really sure. Or I wish you'd sell my neighbor's house because I don't like them. I get that. No, don't have any listings, so I can't hold an open house. Nope. Other agents does. We just talked about it, right? Oh, here's the thing too. You hold someone else's listing open, they get a thank you card. Even if it's somebody you see every day in the office, right? Hey, just wanted to thank you again for letting me hold your house open this weekend, you know, and just give them, and if you get feedback, give them the feedback. Send them an email. Hey, listen, this is what people said. Backyard was kind of small. However, they loved the view. Thought the house was immaculate. Actually, several people felt like the house was priced right, right? Had 17 people come in, and you know, I'll follow up with all of them. Hopefully there's an offer in there for you. They'll go, hey, awesome, way to go. So you got an opportunity. You don't sit, you work it, right? You don't sit the open house, you work the open house. You're standing, you're ready, you're watching out the window, not in a creepy way, but you're watching out the window. And when people come, right, when they're coming up on the porch, you can wait for them to knock and then open the door, or you can open the door, depending on what the weather is or something else like that. If you open the door, just step back, give them some room to come in, right? And introduce yourself, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? Hey, my name's Bo. I've got my name tag on. My name's Bo. How are you? And your name is Frank. What's your last name, Frank? Jones? Frank Jones. Oh, very nice. Mrs. Jones? Whatever. You've got your stick there, right? And everything like that. Well, great. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for coming. Gratitude. Lead with that. And before you guys get started, you can take a look through the whole house. But before you get started, there's just one thing I really want to show you that I think makes this house special, right? Come with me. And then I take off walking, and then I get to this certain spot. I stop. What do? Stop. Right? I go, you know, from right here, you can kind of get a look at that backyard right there. Isn't that incredible? Look at that. Yeah, that's it. There's creek and those trees and everything else like that. Yeah, I'm an outdoor person, so I just think that makes the house fabulous. So, but yeah, you guys take a look around. If you got any questions or anything else like that, I do have a registration card that I'd like you to fill out, and I got a packet of information on the home too. But yeah, feel free to give me a call, or give me a, you know, find me. I'm up here in the front, and and then you see them walk around because they want to get the flyer and get out, right? But they can't find it because Bo has strategically placed the flyer in the cabinet where the dishes are. That's exactly right. I don't leave them laying out. I just don't. Otherwise, they're just like, yeah. Then the husband goes one way, the wife goes another way, right? It's like, whoa, you know, trying to, yeah, those are pros. Those are professionals, right? They know what's going on. So, but it just, you know, it's a big deal, right? But you've got a reason to knock that neighborhood, talk to those people, any one of a number of things that you want to do. And then, of course, you obviously have some people coming right in the front door, right? Ask them if they live in the neighborhood, right? You'll get the nosy neighbors, right? And everything else like that. When somebody comes in, it's a nosy neighbor. We're thinking, okay, if it's my farm, right? I need to get this person's contact information. Do I have their contact information? Do I know anything about these people? What can I do? So open houses, buyers, sellers, referral, set a goal. How many are you going to have? It becomes a part of your business plan, right? It becomes a part of your business plan. Got to get people there, do everything you can, right? Directional signs, always ask. Having an open house this weekend, wonder if I could put a sign in your yard, right? That's an easy door knock, right? You know, everywhere you put them, right? Team up with others. You could hold 5 or 6 together if it's a neighborhood. Our inventory levels aren't necessarily supporting that right now. But your goal should be to work and have open houses every weekend. I would say have an open house every weekend from now until you're crushing your goals, right? And you have so many listings that you can't hold them all. I don't know. I just think it's a huge opportunity, right? And it's probably because I like it, because I'm quick to connect, right? And I really like that about the open house. So, but another great one. All right, prepare and promote, right? There we go. So you set your open house goals. What house are you going to hold open? Stage it. Staging, if you can get the folks to kind of clean up a little bit, right? Just tell them no dishes in the sink, things like that. And then you get there early. You turn on all the lights. You look and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Put the litter box in the garage or somewhere, right, if it's there. My customers would call me back and go, Bo, yeah, where's the bathroom rug? Oh, it's underneath the vanity. What about we had a cup that had all the toothbrushes in it in the kids' bathroom. Yep, it's in the linen closet. I mean, I got rid of all that crap. I mean, it's just like, it wore me out, right? Because there's people stack stuff. Okay, last one, Bo. Toaster. Toaster. I think it's under the sink. Yeah. Because yeah, I mean, it's like, because I mean, it's now, don't get me wrong. I'm not being snotty. That's what my house looks like, right? I mean, I've got this giant Vitamix blender, right? Looks like it's sitting on like a small car motor, right? Sitting on the, Tara hates it, right? Turn it on, the dog loses his mind, right? Anyways, so, but just do those things. Be safe, when you're thinking about open houses and things like that. There's one down at the end of the road, way out in the rural area, right? Might want to tag team it, bring someone with you, right? Have someone else go. I mean, guys, there's nothing wrong with being safe, right? Nothing wrong with being safe. Be the neighborhood market expert. When you knock doors, that's how you become the neighborhood expert. You can actually go down the end of this street, take a right, and you come out right at that the big shopping center over there, such and such. Really? Yeah, you don't have to go back out the front and get all that traffic. You can go right out the back of the neighborhood. Really? People love that kind of stuff, right? You're building rapport, you're having these conversations. Because again, that's our goal. Set your goals. How many leads do you want to get? Number of haven't mets converted to mets. So you're finding out where the people that come in. So I'm just curious. So you guys live here in the neighborhood? No, we're not. No, we don't. Oh, you live here in Louisville? Yeah, we're from Louisville. Oh, okay. What part of Louisville you live in? I mean, that's just normal conversation, right? We're actually They'll tell you. Okay, yeah. It's not an interrogation. Just have a conversation with them, right? But set goals. What you want to do. I would set my goals on the lead measures a lot too, which would be how many I want to have, how many doors I'm going to knock. If you're holding this house open, I'd go 10 deep on each side and everything across the street. Because then you can talk to them about extra traffic, might have some other people coming around, knock the whole subdivision if you want, right? Could drop mail about your open house. Because here's the thing. When you drop mail about your open house, got your picture on it and all the stuff, picture of the home, it doesn't matter if they come or not. You just told them you're an agent in that neighborhood. With me? So that's a touch. Counts. It's a good thing, right? Yeah.
I don't know if this is a dumb idea or not, but for being a new agent, I'm having a hard time like I've been trying to connect with other agents to see if they will let me do an open house on one of their listings, but
Yep.
I've been having trouble getting somebody to let me do that. What about if I was to go to open houses that other agents have listed, just meet contacts?
Yep.
Or
Yeah. Yeah, you could. There's a,
nobody's responding. I've will post and nobody
Oh, here you go. Yeah, that's going to help you a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's Bo. I've seen you around the market center for a couple times. Saw you at a team meeting, whatever, and some context and everything. And I saw you just listed that house on 123 Main Street. Have you planned your next open house? Have you planned an open house? Yeah. And they said, well, no, not really. We're not sure. Well, hey, let me do, I'm going to send you over my open house plan of what I do when I hold a house open. And you can go to, everybody write this down, 7th level open house. You can also find that in the MREA playbook. And basically, now, don't just send them that because it's that long. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. But you might, let them know the things you're going to commit to, right? This is what I do. This is, because every agent that has a listing wants to sell it. And they know you're also going to get referrals or excuse me, they know you're going to probably try to pick up buyers and things like that. But here's the thing, it's still open. People can see it. Their seller's happy, having an open house. Hey, Mr. Seller, want to let you know, I know we've been on the market about 22 days. I'm going to go ahead and have an open house this weekend. Yeah, Tiffany in our office is going to be there to, one of our real estate agents specializes in open house. We've got a whole plan. You'll probably see some things, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you guys, when you're other agents, you can call them. I mean, you could text probably, but I would call so I could let them hear me speak, right? And hear my voice and hear my energy, right? And let them know I have a plan, right? That'll be your best bet. But yeah, it's good. Nothing wrong with that. Stage it, right? Oh, we talked about that. Build relationships. What are you going to ask your guests to build rapport? Do a little research on that neighborhood. Do a little research on it. You know, and guys, if you're holding open houses open in areas that when people talk about it, you can tell them, yeah, well, you can get to the interstate in about 7 minutes. Yeah, you just go up here to. That's way easier. Think about the neighborhood you live in. If anybody asks you anything about it, right? Just keep those things in mind. So just prepare to promote it. Some safety. Check rooms for escape routes. Check backyard for high fences. It's in case you got to climb it versus running and jumping it. Check cell phone strength. Notify a friend to call at that time. Work behind guests during the tour. So you don't turn your back on anybody, right? You know, if it's a house, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's not. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That's not a great open house prospect anyway, because no one's going to drive 30 miles in the middle of it. As far as that, except the guy that walks in and goes, "This is just what I'm looking for." No. You go big in your car, right? And most of y'all are strapped anyway, because does your board teach concealed carry? Does GLAR teach it? Yeah, Lexington, they got like. Okay, all right. Oh, okay, yeah. So you hear about. I see classes all the time. People advertising to do that. Is that something y'all ever want to do? If y'all ever want to do that, talk right here. I got a guy that'll come. He's like licensed, certified. I mean, he's do all that stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, good. Well, because you can. I think he's certified to come teach. We did it in Lexington, and you should do it like once a year, right? It's like Wild Wild West. Everybody walking in like, hey, everybody. No. But just be smart, right? Be smart. I mean, and the other thing is a house in the middle of nowhere. Probably not a great open house candidate. You know what I mean?
Modify what you talked about earlier when you said, you don't do the doors. Let me show you something special about the house. And you said you would turn your back and lead them.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. The most important, and you can probably kind of like talk over your shoulder or something else like that. Just when you get up and you start going up and down stairs and stuff like that, you really want to keep them in front of you, right? And everybody's got their idea of what safety is, I think you just got to kind of be smart. This is the 7th level open house. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but level 1, and we see this, sign in the yard. Level 2, sign with balloons. Yeah, I'm crushing it, right? Then it's sign, balloons, and directionals. Okay. Sign, balloons, directionals, flyers the week before, email invites, posted on websites. Oh, okay. And then the way we basically do that, go invite neighbors at 100 minimum, get on the phone that morning and remind everybody, hold 4 other open houses in the area. And I think we've seen some evolution here at level 6 where social media starts to come into play, right? And again, if you're building that database, right? I'd let every single person in my database know that I have an open house and it's going on. And hey, wonderful people, I'm holding this house open at 123 Main Street. And a lot of you in this email are customers and friends and everything else like that. Somebody'd love to live in XYZ neighborhood. Hey, send them my way. It'll be sent. Why do we send that? Now, we'd love for them to send people, wouldn't we? But what's it do? Reminds them what? You're a real estate agent. I mean, it's easy, right? Then you get on social media and you post holding this crazy nice little cottage open on such and such street, going to be your Sunday. That's video, right? Can't we, come see me Sunday, boom, choom. I mean, it's content, right? It's something other than just, words, right? Build trust, qualify leads. Again, be consistent, right? Look for clues how you can meet their needs. Build rapport. Have a list of questions that you're going to ask these people when they walk in the door. Don't just wing it. And there's nothing wrong with asking everybody the same questions. However, when you ask them the same questions, you make it seem spontaneous. We're having a conversation here. Some people, you'll ask them one thing and they will not stop talking for 20 minutes. Other people, they just want yes or no. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is as far as that goes. Tour the home, balance your conversations. I think this is good. Qualify quickly when multiple groups arrive. That's a tough one. You're talking to some folks and all of a sudden someone else comes, right? That's, again, our goal is when we get multiple people, we want to get them to register, right? That's why you don't just set out a big stack of flyers and they just grab one and leave. If it's good, it's okay. We're going to send them a note. We're going to give them a phone call, right? And we're also going to be on the lookout for those people that we know are ready to buy, or ready to look, ready to show, okay? And then, just ask them what they might need. Oh, HOA, right? Deed restrictions. If someone says, do you happen to have a copy of the deed restrictions, right? What's your answer? That's exactly what it is. Yeah, you know what I do, and it's a pretty robust document. Let's do this. Let's get you fill. Did you fill out a registration card yet? You didn't. Okay, do that right there. Hold on, let me make a note here. Deed restrictions. I write on the top. Just go ahead and put your contact information down there. Later this evening or something, I'll get that to you. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning. What if the HOA has a website they can go and download it? Probably not going to share that. They're going to get it from me. I mean, I'm not trying to, but it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity. And I'm just, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to read it and go, well, what the heck does that mean? And then they're going to call you, right? So there's an opportunity there, right? Opportunity. So just use the opportunity. You don't have to follow them around, but if they go down at the end of the hallway, you can kind of be there when they come out, stuff. Please don't do this. So this is the kitchen. And the big tall one's a refrigerator and the short one's a stove. They know what it is. And you'll do it without even realizing it. Well, you can see the kitchen. And this is the dining room. They know those things, right? They know those things. Absolutely. Yeah. They did a remodel on the kitchen about 6 years ago, a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and they went with the Wolf gas range and everything like that. So share some things like that. New roof, whatever. Just little bits of conversation, but build rapport, right? Build rapport. If there's one thing you do every time you're talking to a buyer or a seller, you have to find out their motivation to buy or sell. What's your motivation? You can't always ask them, so what's your motivation, right? You've got to work your way around it. You have to find out. You have to find out what it is, because you're going to consistently take them back to their motivation all throughout the sales process, right? Well, now hold on just a minute, Sally. Now, when we first met, you've got the new job in Atlanta, and you said we need to get your house sold for 60 days, and we've been on the market 2 weeks, and we've not had a single showing. I recommended a price here. You chose to go here. So anyways, just different things like that. But you gotta let them know. You got to keep reminding them why it's important, right? Otherwise, you'll get to the 11th hour and they'll lose their mind and they'll feel all this stress, right? Ask for the business. Would you like to buy the house? Is this the one, right? Is there anything? They say they love it. It's perfect. They've been looking. You're getting all kinds of buyers. So is this the house? Is this the house you would like to buy? You guys ready to put an offer in? It's okay to ask them, right? Well, I I don't know if we're ready to put an offer in today. Okay. I'm curious. What would keep you from putting an offer in today? Well, got to check my horoscope. Got to check my horoscope, Bo. Okay. Other than checking your horoscope, is there anything else that you would need to do in order for you to write an offer today? Nope, that'd be it. Okay. Well, come on over. Let's get in there. What are you? No, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay to ask that, right? And here's the thing. Are houses still selling pretty quickly? Is there a shortage of inventory? Yeah, so we could probably make a really good case that you're doing them a disservice by not asking them if they'd like to move forward and going a little bit deeper, right? I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Okay, you might see it through a little bit different lens. Okay, but we're just, I mean, we got to, okay, well then you know what we probably need to do. One of the things that my buyer clients really appreciate is I do a thorough buyer consultation. We go through all the things around what it means to buy a home, and you mentioned a home to sell. We can talk about that too. So we sit down. It takes about 45 minutes. So let me ask you: are mornings or afternoons typically better for you? I'm burning the appointment in. They go, probably afternoons. Okay, so afternoons. Would that be 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Probably 6 o'clock. Okay, would Tuesday or Thursday next week work better for you? Alternate choice. I don't ever ask them yes or no. Right? I ask them Monday or Tuesday, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And guys, they will go right along with you. I do that in everything in my life. When people call the appliance repairman, they go, well, when would what's your availability? I just start narrowing them down. Ding, da, ding, da, ding, da, ding. It's just, people need help. You can't just say, when do you want to meet? It's too much. It's overwhelmed. And then they go, you know what? Let me do this. I'll call you. Right? Do they call? Sometimes, but more than likely, well, let's just take a moment. Well, I've got to talk to my partner, spouse, significant other. Okay, all right, and just to schedule the buyer consultation. Yeah, I got to talk to them first. Okay, is it because you're unsure of the schedule, or whether or not you want to meet and talk about buying a home? Right. Well, probably need to get their schedule. Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and put something on the schedule. And then next time you see them, which I'm assuming might be a few hours from now, you'll be able to go ahead and make a decision and clear it with them, blah, blah, blah. I've had people say, I don't know, I'm just not sure. I'm like, how long have you been married? 23 years. In 23 years, surely at some point you figured out what his schedule was that you can schedule, you start losing your patience. But anyways, set up property searches, you put them on a drip. What's that do? That keeps putting your name in front of them, right? Portal, whatever you guys call it in Louisville. Who do you know that might like to see this house? Know anyone else? The people that come in that live in the neighborhood, right? Nosy neighbors and everything else like that. Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, my gosh, you said you lived here 25 years and you know everything. Who do you know that you might want to live in this neighborhood, right? Who do you know that you'd like to have for a neighbor that might not like to have you as a neighbor? No, don't say that. That's just, no, I'm kidding. All right, follow up. Update your database, put them in there. Everybody meet at an open house, and you can tag them accordingly, right? Follow up with the guests, give them a call. If you don't get them on the phone, call them the first time. If they don't answer, don't leave a voicemail. Call them back the second time. If they don't answer, leave them a voicemail, right? Drop a little voicemail, thank them. Now, you're going to call them and talk to them. You're going to send them that super cool little note, right? No one else is going to do that. I'm just telling you, the amount of agents that will do those things is really, really low, okay? So your guests could be buyers, or a seller, or just people that might want to be converted to a MET. We talked about this, especially if it's a farm, right? Just people that you might put in your database. Agents who could be recruited. Oh my gosh, your open house is amazing. I didn't know you could do all these kind of things. Well, we have some fantastic, training at Keller Williams. I'll have my team leader, Rob, give you a call. Might help you impact your business, right? Anyways, so all kinds of places to go with that conversation. Open house playbook, boom, QR code, download the playbook for that. But it'll give you all those MREA playbooks are super condensed, and they've got resources and tools in it, and all kinds of things. This is one here, look, the old golden letter, right? Or text, right? Dear homeowner, because you can get that off the PDA, right? Would you be interested in selling your home at 123 Main Street to a client of mine? If so, please call me back at this number. Thank you, Bo. That's when there was no inventory. Remember that? When there was like hardly any inventory? Now, here's the thing to remember. There's never a shortage of inventory. There's only a shortage of available inventory. The number of homes that are out there stays pretty much the same. It's the available inventory, okay? And there's always shadow inventory. There's always, you see one house go up for sale, there's 3 or 4 other people that have actually are thinking about selling their house. And they're probably a stone's throw away from that one, okay? So keep that in mind. FSBOs and expireds. So little change up here. Another source of business. Peter Chabris, who's our partner in this market center and Louisville and Cincinnati, runs a sales team. They'll do about 800 units. They'll do about 13 million in commission. He built his business on FSBOs and expired. He now runs his sales team from Utah. Doesn't even live in Cincinnati anymore. Here's why he did it. He could wake up every single day. There were people to call because he had no aversion to calling. And he had a great script. It was a Bold script. He actually used a script from Bold. And that's what he did. FSBOs and expires. And he was sitting probably 8 to 10 a week. Just cracking them. All right. So let's just talk about it a little bit. Most important reason for selling a home as a FSBO. Didn't want to pay commission. That's 47% of them. Okay. 33% of them, the seller knew the buyer that they actually ended up selling it to. And then 61% of the time, seller did not know the buyer. Okay. Sold to a friend or relative, right? It goes down through there. Buyer contacted seller directly, right? This is why people say do it. Didn't want to deal with a real estate agent. This is interesting. Only 8% of them. They'll deal with you. Yeah. Well, here's the thing to remember now. Most FSBOs, when I say most, I'm in the 90s, will pay you if you bring them a buyer. Yes? Here's the best thing about the FSBO. Here's what we know. They want to sell their house. How much time, energy, and effort do you put into every single day trying to find somebody that wants to sell? And these people have put a sign in their yard, handwritten on a pizza box to let you know they are ready to sell. I've only seen that once, but it literally pizza box, house for sale. Awesome. Seller has a real estate license, 1%, couldn't find a suitable agent, 1%, other one. So it's pretty low, right? Pretty low. FSBOs, 65+% of them end up hiring a real estate agent in 60 days. So if you identify them and you follow up, they will call you and you will get the listing. So that's the one thing there. But they're motivated, right? You know, who are they? The house didn't sell, right? Overpriced relative to the market, in poor condition, not marketed well. Not marketed at all. There's not, well, I got on FSBO.com. Yeah. And there's so many things that the FSBO hasn't thought about or even gave any consideration. You can only succeed with FSBOs and expireds or withdrawn listings by being aggressive and direct. You can actually win with FSBOs and all expires, withdrawals, coming from contribution, establishing trust, and staying in touch. Here's the reality. This is the one that gets us. You got to call them every week and check in, right? And it's a real simple phone call. Hey, Mr. FSBO, this is Bo Smith with Keller Williams. Just wanted to check in. Hey, did you have the good fortune of selling your home this past weekend? Because I'm calling them on Monday. And they're going to, no, we didn't. Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. I'm curious, how many offers did you get? 0. 0. Oh. Well, what about showings? How many showings did you have? 0. Ah. Are you ready for me to list your home? I mean, that's the conversation. And they go, nah, give us another week. Okay, well, all right, I'll call you Monday. All right, good luck. Go get them. Or they go, I'm sick of this. They're going to list with an agent inside of 60 days. So what's wrong with calling them every week? Rob Daniel was one of our OG bowl coaches, and he built a business on that. And he did it back when there were a lot of them. He every Monday he had 170 FSBOs that he would call, and he gave them that same dialogue. And he would peel them off every Monday. He'd go list about 6 of them. Crazy, right? They think they're saving money.
Here's the big thing is that you sell with an agent versus by yourself. You usually sell 8 to 11% higher.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's like be like somebody deciding to sell. It'd be like this watch, right? Apple Watch. You get them anywhere you want, right? They're all, if I sold this watch in a garage sale, right? Somebody coming up and looking at the watch, are they expecting to pay a lot or a little? Little. If you saw the same watch sitting in a jewelry store, right, or a electronics store or Best Buy, would you think you're going to get it for next to nothing? No, because you're going to be talking to a professional salesperson in a professional environment with a professional presentation. When you put the FSBO sign out, you're basically selling your house in a garage sale. That you're seen as desperate, and they're coming in with a low offer. The investors are, I mean, they're looking for them, right? For whatever reason. But what?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's actually out of bold. We teach that in bold, but you can use it for a piece of jewelry. A watch, not a good example, but like a ring. I mean, you go to the pawn shop or something, you're at the pawn shop because you want to buy a ring, and you know you're going to get a better deal than, the big fancy jewelry store. Do you really want to sell your house at a garage sale, sir, ma'am? Right? 6 ways to win with FSBOs. Get the listing, find the buyer, right? Help the seller buy a new home nearby. You could, for out-of-town people, you could refer them, right? Potential customers. You could host an open house for a FSBO. Did you know that? You do that for them. Help the seller write up business if he finds a buyer. You could be a transaction agent for them, right? And here's the thing. If you're thinking about FSBOs, anybody here ever had a deal go south? Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about that. So we've got real estate agents that had a deal go south, that worked for a brokerage, that had an entire team, had a principal broker. They had a buyer that was pre-approved, brought in the appraiser, got the underwriters, got a listing agent, got a buyer's agent, buyer broker, seller broker, all these other people, all these things, inspectors, and still can't get one closed. But somehow, Mr. FSBO is going to get this deal shut down with no approval letter and a contract that he bought from Office Depot. Think about it. That's why they'll pay the buy side, because they do all the stuff in the paper. See, the old FSBO is smart enough to know that just, a regular person with no agent, that's a long shot. But I used to tell FSBOs that story. The other story I would tell them, I'd say, well, I'm curious, if I do have a buyer and we'd like to see your home, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Oh, you just call my cell phone. Is that the number on the sign out there? Yeah. So you just put your cell phone on the number out there on the sign. Okay. And I call you, what's the latest I can bring somebody through? Well, I mean, I don't know. We haven't really thought about that. I mean, not too late. Well, I probably be better if I had a time. I mean, I'm assuming you probably wanted it to be before it gets dark, right? Can't imagine taking a phone call from somebody that got my number off that sign out there, and I look out the people, and there's 4 people on the porch, and it's after hours. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah. I mean, right? I mean, who's opening the door? Somebody called you and wants to come walk through your house at 7:30 in December? It got dark at 6:30. And you're going to roll them through? And then there's 3 of them? How are you going to keep an eye on all them? I mean, it's like, what do you think I should do? I said, well, you don't open the door. I'm so sorry. I have the flu. I mean, but they don't think about that, right? we're going to put a multiple listing. We're going to put a box on the door. The only people that can open that box are licensed real estate agents. And they will have to schedule that time, and you will be the person that will decide whether or not they get to come. And if you say no, they can't get in. Oh, and the lockbox is only accessible during these hours. You guys know that, right? You can't get in a lockbox. Anyways, just things they haven't thought about, right? Somebody had a question.
I
No?
had a comment.
Yes.
I had a couple that I helped them buy a house, and then they wanted to try to sell their own house.
Yeah.
You know, the very company that do it recommended that you take a week off vacation at least during the time that you can't sell it. And I think that's what got them. They didn't want to take their precious vacation time off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they'll come. Hey, there's always going to be something. For the most part, though, I mean, we can throw a blanket over. I mean, team. There's only 5 objections that the FSBO is going to give you, and the expired listing is going to give you. There's only 5. That's it. I mean, you know those 5, you can handle anything they throw at you, right? Expired listing. I mean, we'll get to those in a minute, but it's like, yeah, well, no, we're actually going to probably just stay with the same agent. Really, I'm curious, what's that agent going to do differently that they didn't do while your house has been on the market for 137 days? Sounds to me like you need a fresh approach. Let's do this. Let's just sit down. Let me tell you what I do to get your home sold, and then you can make a decision with all the facts. Mornings or afternoons better for you. I'm going in, and I'm getting the listing, right? So, anyways, so there's, you know, you can, but you guys, you get in front of these FSBOs, and you can close them. 8 by 8, 8 touches, 8 touches in 8 weeks. Might need to get a little bit, you know, condense that a little bit. Touch 1, preview the property, leave a FSBO packet, pre-listing packet. Touches 2 and 3, postcard, letter, right? Call. Touch 4, make the call. Touch 5 through 7, different picture, postcards, letters. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can do. Make a telephone call. Yep. You can find them in KW Connect, different things that you can do. You know, what I can tell you is people that work for sale by owners that bring a system. Here's what you got to. Here's the first thing you got to check. Check how many FSBOs are out there right now in your market. Might not be a lot of them. Might be a lot of them. But check and see what your opportunity is. Doesn't mean you can't call them, right? And visit them, right? Or door knock them or something. You know, if you see one in the area. I used to have my clients, when they pass the FSBO sign, take a picture of it and send it to me. And I'd call them up. Hey, I've worked with a lot of clients over there on Eastern Parkway, and I noticed you have your home for sale. And all I'm trying to do is get an appointment, right? So, but there's different touch campaigns that you can do when you systematize it. You got to practice what you're going to say, right? You got to practice all kinds of stuff on KW Connect about objections for sale by owners, if you want to call them, if you want to make those calls. We know what they're going to say, right? Put them in your database, 8 by 8 action plan. Send a thank you for referrals, follow up until they list or sell. And that's it, like every week. And I love the one where it's like, did you have the good fortune to sell your home? Oh, you didn't? Oh, doggone it. Well, how many showings did you have? Or no, how many offers did you get? None. Huh. Well, how many showings? 0. Wow. I mean, you're just clubbing them over the head. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, but it's like, but you can do it in a nice way. And they're sitting there going to themselves like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Right? I mean, another week went by. John, I don't know if you're, because I'm John now, right? Because we know each other. And I'm like, John, I mean, I've called you like clockwork for the last 4 weeks, and you've had 1 showing. The average house and the average days on market for homes in your neighborhood is 17. And they're selling for 98.3% of list. Isn't it time for me to list your home? And if I found out his motivation, right? If I've got him talking to me, isn't it time to sell your home so we can go ahead and get you to South Carolina, closer to the grandkids? You owe that to yourself, don't you? Then, yeah. Mornings or afternoons better for you. And I'm going, and you know what? They're going to list and it's going to sell. I mean, everybody here's done a CMA, right? Okay, get all that information. It's ridiculous. Ever go, well, it doesn't look right. Or, it's not adding up, can't find comps. This one's from 12 years ago. Ever have been frustrated doing a CMA? Yeah. These people are pulling a number out of thin air, folks. Somewhere between what I owe and what I want. There's my number. Yeah. I mean, and somebody over renovated or whatever, because you can bet they didn't look at the one that sold for less than market. Yeah, that house is trash. I don't use that one. Right. And it's exactly right. Yeah. You see that guy's grass? No, I can't see anything because I'm coming through the grass at your yard. I mean, it's just funny, right? But see, that's people, right? And that's our challenge, right? Is we work with people every day. We have to navigate the people-y part of it. So this is important. Know what you're going to say. Prepare the materials to give them. Don't give them your marketing plan. You can give them data. 8x8 customized for expired. Set your goals. Find them. Everything else. If you're going to use any of these tools that we've talked about today, set a goal, right? Have a plan, right? If you're not sure and you get it to a certain point, get with Rob or me or anybody and just run it by stuff. But you gotta, if you're not getting the reps talking to people on the phone, you gotta practice by yourself. You just gotta practice them. Now, the beauty of it is when you're calling these people, you can actually have what you're going to say right in front of you, right? The questions you're going to ask. Repetition is the mother of skill. We used to say scripts. This is an old, now we say dialogues because scripts sound scripty. There's the only thing disingenuine or scripty about scripts are if you don't know them. If you know them and internalize them, it sounds just like your regular speak, right? And I learned all of them. I taught all of them. So, and when I say it, it just sounds completely normal. Well, how come when you say it, Bo, it sounds like the perfect thing to say? And I get on the phone and I lock up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't say that. Well, it's because I say it all the time, right? So I had a really long script I had to practice to get Tara to marry me, but I nailed it. Right? 10-year anniversary coming up, so I'm just saying. But agent referrals. There's a network. Each one of you can go into. Just go into Facebook and put Keller Williams referral pages. You can go in there. You can join them. You can watch them. Somebody looking for something. You get in there and you start hawking those pages. There's somebody moving to Louisville and they're looking for somebody. Does everybody in here know what the white pages are? Like the old school phone book, white pages, yellow pages? Okay. Well, in the KW universe, the white pages are, you go into, log in a command, go to your profile, go down the bottom right, click on white pages. When it opens up, it may or may not be blank. Probably have your name in there. Put all your stuff in there. All your things. Fill out all the information, specialties, little bio, kind of like you do with the MLS. Put it all in there. That way, when agents go looking for someone in Louisville, Kentucky, your name comes up, and if they click on it, there's stuff there, right? I mean, it's one of those things that you can do in about 10 minutes, and you're in the system, right? Because when they pull you up and there's nothing there, or if you're on the referral page and you raise your hand, and then the first thing they do is they go in there and look at the white pages. People put all kinds of stuff in there. I'm a 7-time bold graduate, I've taken these classes and all this different things like that. But, receiving referrals, what do you guys see? I see like 25% referral. Is that about right? Is that what y'all see? Yeah. So, if you accept referrals, you've got to respond to the customer's needs immediately. You've got to love to work with buyers. Solutions along with an awesome experience. Be committed, right? You guys, when someone calls you to refer business to you here in Louisville, they're expecting you to be a Louisville, Kentucky expert. With me? So, if you're not, you can get there, right? You can get there. Don't ever send a referral, like the name and phone number and anything. Don't ever send one to anybody without getting a referral agreement signed first. That's not a story about bad people that have done bad things. That's just saying, just don't always get the agreement, then send the information. Be a professional, and that's how professionals behave, right? And if you're going to give, the referral, if you're going to have the person interview more than one person, then get them signed for all three, and then let them know, hey, you're one of 3 agents that my client's considering. Here's your contact information, and then follow up with your client. They'll kind of get it. Sometimes you just click, right? People just click with somebody. Sometimes they don't click. Who are these 3 knuckleheads? You got any more? Oh, we got a whole bunch. But anyways, just understand that you're going to have someone want to refer an agent or refer a client, and they're going to say something like, hey, why should I pick you? Right? You know the city, you know the town, right? Talk about all those things. Screen them, identify what makes other agents top of mind with you. Know when to refer, pre-negotiation and referral, fee negotiation, referral agreements. Some agents ask for more than 25. They just do. I see 25 as, there's no such thing as a standard, but that seems to be the one I see the most. Right? Is that right? Yeah. I don't need to actively prospect or market to real estate agents. You have to, right? You have to. Not only get referrals, you also build rapport with other agents, and you just never know when you're on a deal and the other agent knows you at some level, right? Guys, make doing business with you easy. Go above and beyond. Do some things for them. Tara used to, when she had the buyers and they bought somebody's house, she would always call the listing agent and say, hey, we got the closing today at 2 o'clock. We're going to be there doing the final walkthrough this morning. Everything looks good, right? Everything. Would you like me to bring your sign and lockbox to you? Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So she'd load up, get the code, get the lockbox off the door, and make sure that key comes out, right, for your clients, right? And then write the sign, and she'd bring it to closing. Clamp that, put the lockbox on the sign, and bring it in there. Oh my gosh. There's nothing wrong with creating a great experience for the other agent, because I can tell you, you will quickly or slowly develop a reputation in this market, and you want to be the one where they're like, when there's multiple offers, they go, oh, wait a minute, yeah, you know what, this Bo Smith, yeah, his people are real. I know he's really qualified. These people are players, right? Great to work with, super timely, great expectations, all that, whatever. I'd sit and talk about me some more and how great I am. No, I'm kidding. But it's but you want to be that person, right? You want to be that person. You don't want to be the so you're always doing that. Add the contacts of agents to your database. Put agents in your database as well. Start another group. Referral opportunities. Here's the thing. I don't know. You all probably have a radius. How far will you go? I mean, are you going to go to Somerset? No. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it, right? Are you going to Cincinnati? I mean, we have agents in Cincinnati, right? They're anyways, just make it a point. Prospecting, meet them at events. Do y'all go to realtor events? Y'all just not very friendly, are you? What's that? You don't go?
No, networking.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. It's guys, here's the thing. Just go out and meet with them. Talk to them. It's time well spent, right? Collect information. The agents you meet with, that you talk to, send them a note. I'm telling you, invariably. Well, how many of you have sold a house to an agent you've never talked to, never knew, and then sold one to somebody that you do know? The one that you know, it's just a little easier. They'll take your call at 9:30 at night. Hey, Bo, what do you need? You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I don't know. Just be thought of as one of those people that's easy to work with, that's really in it for everybody to win. I get calls from real estate agents that don't even work at Keller Williams, and they call me for like broker advice. They either worked with us once before or they just know me. I'm like, what'd you call your broker? Call, and I know who it is. I call him. Well, I already talked to him. Well, what did he say? Okay, we'll do that. Well, I just was, you know, just thought I'd see what you thought, Bo. I don't think anything. I think you need to call your guy. That's what I think. Okay. Anyways, people who know you don't have to be reminded you're in real estate business. Guys, our job is to remind them all the time. All the time. And here's the thing. You're probably reminding them. Yes, you're reminding them to use you. And here's the thing. There's probably some you got that you probably don't have to remind. Let's just say that. But you need to remind them so they tell other people. So when someone at work says, my son just graduated from Vandy, met this wonderful gal, they're moving down to Louisville, right? Up to Louisville, and they want to buy a house. Oh my gosh, you should call our real estate agent, you should call Dana, right? She's awesome, does a fantastic job. If they don't really know you, they're not going to take that next step, right? So take that opportunity. People who know you and trust you are the most important group to maintain relationships and regular contact with. You know, our man Steve Schlueter was on the meeting yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw the DTD too. It's in here, and you know, your entire database is covered in 13 weeks. Your core advocates. We have the ability to put it into command, label it based on the 2-letter groups, and it'll tell you who to call. And if they're in there and they have a contact card, now you know exactly what to talk about. You know exactly how many kids they have, what kind of work they do, where they work, where they live, what side of town, right? People know you and trust you. They will know you better and they will trust you more when you stay in contact, okay? Agent referral playbook, again, you hit it with the QR code. That MREA playbook, guys, it's got every conceivable play that you could think about running, right? You know, getting referrals. Anybody here live somewhere else before you moved here? Yeah, okay. Then we should have a referral agent back there, and all of our people from back there should be in our database, and we should be marketing them. What's wrong with that? I mean, I have people call me. I got a buddy of mine. I've got a buddy. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna enter here. So I got a good friend of mine. He's a cell phone guy, like the technology. Been there since the whole thing started, right? Infrastructure guy, and he's probably moved 6 times. I've gotten 6 referrals, right? I got 6 referrals. He ended up getting divorced, and if I could have got his ex-wife, that would have been 7, but she chose the other side, so that's fine. I got him. No, I'm kidding. But I did literally from his very first house to moving into the kids grew up, right? Kids moved out, and then he moved in different states, and then all of a sudden he's probably going to buy. He's getting ready to get married, and he'll buy another house, right? I'm trying to keep cycling, right? I'm like, yeah, very good. No, I'm kidding. But it just happened. I'm his guy, right? I'm his guy, and he's moved about 3 different states, and I've gotten him a referral agent each time. So, and he's coached up. He knows when he goes out and starts looking at real estate. Good friend of mine, Bo Smith, real estate agent in Kentucky. I'm going to run everything through him, right? Not signing anything or doing anything, and then he gives me the name, and I call him and we put it together and whatever. But anyways, it's all good. Questions, comments, stories. We got a little time left here before we wrap up. Was this beneficial? Yeah. I want you guys to realize you don't have to have 150 different ways to find business. What you do have to do is pick some of those things that you're passionate about, that you understand and you like, and do those at a high level, right? The cool thing about that MREA playbook is each one of those plays is something that someone is running almost their entire business off of FSBOs and expires, open houses, farming.
Well, at the family reunion, they said that this year, take one or two and just go full walk.
Yeah, it just,
Don't get bogged down with there's 1,000 up to do, you're gonna try to do them all.
yeah, it's hard. And here's the thing, we love shiny objects as real estate agents. Oh my gosh, that's super cool. Yeah, I gotta get a gorilla suit. Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, if you're gonna, because see, if open houses are your thing, you get better at it, right? All facets, the marketing, the prospecting, finding them, getting agents, things like that, conversion, and you're also building your database, right? So farming is another great way. Different things that you can do, FSBOs, expireds, all that kind of stuff like that. Now remember, database is at the heart of all of it. Everything we do when we pick these is to capture information, push it into the database, and stay up with these people with frequency and intensity, right, over time. And you'll meet a lot of now buyers. You will. People are ready to go. And yet, your business will be built on the people that are buying a house 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now. Remember, if you keep loading it every day, eventually, every day a buyer will pop out or a seller will pop out because you're making up the time lag, right? So the database component is a non-negotiable, right? People will tell you how much business they get out of their database. The thing though is it's not so much how much they get out of it as a source. It is about everything they do to push people in it, right? David Huffaker, he'll do about, I don't know, it's like some ridiculous number, $480 million in real estate sales. It's like 57% of that's from his database. That's a huge number. That's database business. That's people calling in. That's them calling and touching. And client events. That's another one. We have people that run huge businesses off of client events. And the client event is all the touches before the event and all the touches after the event. So, questions, comments, story? I put you guys in a coma, didn't I? It's a lot. We ripped through a lot. We handled this in, how long has it been? 2 hours? Some of you are like, feels like 12. I'm serious, bro. It feels like 12 hours. No. This class is typically like a 4-hour class, but we truncated it a little bit. So,
Thank you, Bob.
absolutely, my pleasure. You guys need anything, let us know. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys coming. Yeah.
Maybe the IT person can read it in the chat. Yeah. There you go.
Was there something I was supposed to do? Oh, that's a map. See, I see. I did turn this little Zoom off.
That's really cool. That's really cool.